Welcome to another edition of Sanford Says. I'm Lisa Holder, Chief Communications and Cultural Affairs Administrator for the City of Sanford, and you're listening to Sanford Says. Today's topic is really awesome, another great topic. It is the 2024 Florida Emancipation Weekend celebration. That is May 17th to the 19th. I have two great guests with me this morning. Brea Jones. Brea is a member of the Historic Georgetown Steering Team, also raised in Sanford, a longtime resident, and her heart is into this project. That's definitely for sure. I can feel the passion from you, Brea. Mm-hmm. And then Jennifer Brooks. Jennifer is our Special Events Supervisor for the City of Sanford. Jennifer, good morning, ladies.
Good morning. Good morning.
So we're going to talk about this very important, historic, it's now an annual event in the City of Sanford, and all run by volunteers in partnership with a lot of organizations, the City of Sanford. So Brea, thank you for making time and coming to City Hall today. Can you share with us what's going on that particular weekend, and kind of, let's start with the history of how this event came to be.
Of course. So thank you guys for having me. Again, I'm a member of the Georgetown Steering Team, and what we do is we work to collect and share the history of Georgetown and its rich Black history. So we started about 3 years ago with Miss Julia Brunson and some other community volunteers from Georgetown, and they started with the History Harvest event to collect and share that history, as well as with the Florida Emancipation Weekend celebration, which again, those are both annual events. So this is our third year with the Florida Emancipation Weekend celebration, and what we do is we celebrate the Emancipation Proclamation as well as the history of Georgetown. And so this year we've gone out to different classrooms to spread the history of Georgetown. We've worked with the UCF Riches program to collect oral interviews from residents on Georgetown, and then we've also worked with the Sanford Museum to collect historical pictures, so that way we can put together video and photo presentations.
That's going to be incredible, the visual aspect of it. So let's share real quickly for the listeners that may not know about Georgetown and where it's located and the significance of it becoming it's on the National Register of Historic Places, correct?
Correct.
Can you share just a little bit about that, Brea?
Yeah, so Georgetown is, again, a historic district, and it's actually older than the city of Sanford itself. It has one of the oldest AME churches in the Central Florida area, which is St. James AME Church, and then there's a lot of rich history that we're going to be sharing, little tidbits that people already know, and then some things that people don't know as well. So we're really encouraging people to come out so that way they can learn about this history. Like I mentioned, we've gone into classrooms for Black History Month to share that history with the younger youth, so that way they know where they're come from, know what the history is here, and know what they can, take with them. So that's been really exciting, and we're excited to share that with everybody else.
Wonderful. And so, yeah, if you want to learn more about Georgetown, that's the purpose of these events. Come out and get educated by those that know about it the best. So Jennifer, do you want to add some things about, this is a lot going on. It's a whole weekend.
Yes, but I actually have a question. I love to listen to those oral histories, especially of older generation. Where can we find those?
So again, we're working with UCF Riches program. So they have been the one to conduct our oral histories. One of the first years in 2022, they did 12 oral history interviews, and those are all up on their YouTube channel. We're working to share those on our Facebook page as we're leading up to the event, but they're also going to be presenting those during the event as well. Each day they're going to be doing different presentations about the videos that they've collected thus far.
Well, I can't tell you how much I appreciate all the energy and effort in collecting this information, presenting it to us, and making it such a family-friendly event. I can't tell you, my personal, I cannot wait for the Gospel Jubilee on Sunday, which is new this year. But leading up to it, you're also doing a dinner on Friday night, and I think there's a few tickets left, perhaps?
Yes, so on Friday we're having a gala, this is our first year doing it. We wanted to really expand and make this a bigger thing, so that way we can spend more time highlighting Georgetown history and spending time with our community. So again, Friday, May 17th from 7 to 9 is the gala. We are selling tickets on our Eventbrite link, so you can find that on our Facebook page, which is Georgetown Steering Team, or you can make cash payments at the Sanford Museum. Tickets are $20, and we have about 10 tickets left, so I definitely encourage people to go get those as soon as possible. And then during that event, we're going to have catered food. We're going to have music provided by a DJ. We're going to have presentations from UCF Rich's program, from the Stanford Museum. We're also going to have a trivia about Georgetown history to test what people already know, and then you can spend that time learning something that you don't already know. There's going to be prizes for those things, so that's exciting too. And then we're also going to have an art auction with the gallery on First Street, where at least 6 of their artists will be selling some of their artwork. So it's going to be a very fun, very participating event.
And this is at the Women's Club in Sanford.
Correct.
And all this information you could find on their Facebook page as well as the city's social media as well.
Correct.
And the art auction's only at the dinner?
Yes, the art auction is only going to be at the dinner, but there are going to be some art things happening the rest of the weekend as well. With the event where we went to the classrooms for Black History Month, we incentivized the kids to do an art scholarship project, and that's actually sponsored by my family, the Harris family, to highlight our contribution and how we come from Georgetown. So we're having students to make an art project about the history of Georgetown or about the Emancipation Proclamation, and we're going to be announcing the winner for that scholarship on Saturday, and we're going to have the artwork up for people to see during the event. And then we also have some vendors who are going to be selling art or contributing art in some way. And I also believe that the St. John's River Festival are going to be in Hopper working on getting people to contribute to a community art project. So that'll also be something that people can come together and work to do
The
as well.
Art Fest, St. John's River Art Festival, which we just had this past weekend.
This
So
is going to be such an exciting weekend.
It is. And so something like cultural to offer our visitors, our residents, and educational as well. And so I see you have lots of sponsors here on the flyer.
Yes, yes.
And so you can do it by yourself, right? I mean, you're all volunteers, so I'm sure if you want to thank any of your sponsors.
Effort.
It is a community effort. It is
That's
definitely
the big thing. We really wanted to make this a community benefit event, so that way you can learn history but also learn about your community. We're going to be having like Seminole State out there on Saturday, the Early Learning Program Center, some different community organizations, so that way you can learn what's offered in the community and what you can benefit from. So that's also a goal that we wanted to focus on this year.
All right. So you have the kickoff is the Gala Friday night.
Yes.
From 7 to 9.
Yes.
You heard about that. And then we have the Florida Emancipation Day, which is Saturday. Is that the day of the bike ride?
Correct. So that day starts off with Bicicleta. They're going to be having their bike ride from 7 to 12, and what they do is they take people out into the different historically Black communities like Georgetown, like Goldsboro, and they're also going to Eatonville. So they have different stops that people can participate in and learn about the different communities, Black communities, not just in Georgetown, but in Central Florida as well.
Yeah, and you can go to Bicicleta's website or
Their Facebook page as well.
Facebook page.
And we also have flyers all around town. So if you see something, definitely just
Yeah.
take a picture of that flyer and share it.
I mean, that's an incredible thing to get healthy, exercise, ride your bike, and then learn about history. I mean, I'm just above the moon about all this stuff. So, wink, wink. But
Well, if you're in a car and you drive through, you're just going from one spot to another. On a bike, you can certainly see it better. And they
Right.
have 2 different courses, so even beginners can do it. Again, very family friendly.
And then
Yeah.
in Eatonville, they're also participating in that community to have a stop there. So that way there's interactions that they can make. They can talk to people. They can learn about Eatonville as well. So it's really like taking you into the different communities,
Yeah.
introducing you to people. They also have a stop in Goldsboro where they're going to have True Health out there. True Health is also going to have a table at our event, so that way people can get their blood pressure tested and do some other simple health testing. So it's really taking you to each neighborhood, getting you actively involved, learning about what's in those
yeah,
neighborhoods.
and I understand there's 2 different types. There's a short bike ride and then the longer one going to Eatonville. So
Correct.
you don't, if you're not an avid cyclist, you can still participate and have fun with the shorter one. So find
Right.
out more on their website.
Yeah, that's like from 7 a.m. to noon on Saturday.
Okay. And then on Sunday, like you mentioned, Jennifer.
Well, no, Saturday afternoon, then
What's
we
going-
have the actual event at Hopper Academy,
Right.
where we'll have food, games,
The
art.
presentations. We're going to have people singing, and then just vendors we are going to have music provided by the DJ. And then inside of Hopper, like I mentioned, we'll have the different learning stations, so that way people can learn about Georgetown and then also participate and find out more about the community art project.
And I wanted to say, so what's very pivotal is that Hopper Academy is located in Georgetown.
Correct.
And
it used to be an all-black school, and it was a very big community. My grandpa actually went there, and that's part of my ties to Georgetown, as well as my family was living there at the time. So yes, it's a historically black school. It was created by Joseph Crooms, and who also created Crooms High School, which is now Crooms Academy. So it has a lot of historical importance as well.
And that is huge. Do you know how many graduates there are of Crooms Academy now? I mean, and this Hopper Academy sits on a side street in Sanford, off of Sanford Avenue, and
It's a beautiful building.
It is, and there's great green space there on the outside.
Yes,
so there'll be
yes.
plenty of. Want to talk about parking? Maybe Jennifer with her fantastic logistics.
Well, hopefully, this is ordinarily when I'm on here, I'm inviting the whole world to Sanford, and for this, I do hope they come. But this, I really want to go out of my way to encourage all Sanford residents to come out to this. Ride your bike, bring your golf cart.
Yes.
There'll be plenty of parking in and around the area, but make it happen. Saturday is the core of the event. The 11:30 to 3 is the core event. If you can only make it to 1, I would certainly do that. But you can't miss the Jubilee either on Sunday. So
the Gospel Jubilee, yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely make it out. This is a true community event. You'll certainly learn things you never know. You'll see lots of friends and neighbors. You'll make new friends and neighbors,
right.
And it's just we have so much to be proud of here.
Mm-hmm.
And this, I think, is usually you talk about little nuggets. This is like a boulder of information that will be coming to us, and
right.
It will be golden. It's just so much to learn, see, do, experience, show honor to our elders who
right.
are sharing their history, and younger people learning how to carry that pride forward for the next generation, and all of us working together. So
Yeah.
I think it's going to be just a fantastic weekend.
Right.
Yeah.
And the information, it will be definitely a boulder, but it's going to be a digestible boulder. We want to make sure you can process that information, take it with you, learn something,
Yeah.
have something to come back to. So that's one thing about the green space. We are also going to have the Sanford Cultural Guild there. They're working to bring a community garden to Hopper Academy. So we're going to have them there to talk about that. They're also going to be, giving away some plants as part of the prizes for the trivia on Friday. So that's exciting too. But that's part of the community, the green space. And then for the
Right.
parking, we're also going to have parking at St. John's Missionary Baptist Church and St. James Church, AME Church. And we're going to have a golf cart at St. John's to transport people back and forth, as well as parking at Hopper. So there are 3 different parking options. His handicap parking is really going to be encouraged at Hopper, so that's going to be first come, first serve. But we also have those 2 other parking options available.
Okay. And then what I like is that, and I'm sure other people do too, is that at the Gospel Jubilee, you are, of course, having live music performances.
yes,
so you're
yes.
incorporating education, art, live music into this event, and exercise.
And exercise.
Yeah, I'm not just saying that. I mean, it just really is a well-rounded one of these events that it's not downtown First Street, so it is off close though. You go right by it every time you drive into downtown off of
Yes,
Sanford Avenue,
absolutely.
to the right. But take the time to bring your kids out and use this as a unique way to learn about history. I think that it's a celebration. That's what this flyer says. There's folks in the graphic just dancing and having a good time. And so
Who's all performing on Sunday?
Really quick, one more thing about Saturday. We're also going to have the Sanford Fire Department there. There's a photo of students outside of Historic Hopper Academy that I don't know why I think it was taken in the 1960s, but it was probably way before then. But kids are outside of Hopper, and the Sanford Fire Department are there with their ladder truck. So we're actually going to try to recreate that photo. So we're encouraging people to come out so that way we can get that done and recreate that photo and do a then versus now kind of thing.
love the creativity. Cool. Oh my goodness, you got to great committee there, Brea. I mean, I know you have been leading the way, and so you definitely need to take, credit for a lot of it. I know there's volunteers helping you, but, and when you're passionate about something, proud, it comes out. It really does. And so, again, all volunteer driven, right?
Yes.
All volunteer driven.
Yes. We started planning, or I want to say around November last year is when we first started meeting and talking about it. And, that was after we did our History Harvest event. So we were right back into it, right back planning for this year. So it's exciting to see it all come to fruition, seeing it all play out, and then learn how we can grow and get better next year. So that's all part of it.
All right. Is there
So
anything,
I think
Jennifer?
we're going to follow up with who's playing on Sunday.
Yes. So we're going to have different community churches as well as high schools. We're going to have Winter Springs plus Lake Howell High School. We're going to have St. John's Missionary Baptist Church plus New Bethel, Greater Faith AME Church, which is a church out in Deltona, and then a few other community churches as well. So we have 8 different performances as well as a main band to guide the event as well. And we definitely want the crowd to be singing with them, so you guys can count yourselves as performers too.
All right, and
You
Kids
don't want
Corner
me singing.
activities. Kids Corner activities for Saturday. You're going to have you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so we're going to have a face painter. We're planning on having a bouncy house. We're going to have the fire department out there to encourage kids and, talk to kids. And, the different learning stations that are geared towards kids as well. So,
And of course, the art project. The
yes.
community art project,
So we're going to have that up for the parents and the students to look at, learn more about Georgetown, get some ideas for next year's art contest, things like that.
All right, so get those tickets for the gala. Now let me ask you this: so the proceeds from this event, where does that go?
So we are actually not necessarily making money. The only thing that we're necessarily making money from is the art auction, and that's money is going back to the artists, and then we're saying half of that money is going to go to a school in Georgetown. So
Okay.
that's
All right, wonderful.
we're benefiting the community with this event as well.
there's
Everything
a lot
else
of
we're
cost.
paying for out of pocket. So
There's a lot of cost that went into this.
Yes.
You have a lot of sponsors.
and it's more so sponsors that are participating in the event and participating so that way they can get their name out there. Like with the Sanford Cultural Guild, they can talk about what they're doing with the community art project. We have the food truck vendors who are going to be there making their money, but also just community organizations who are going to be there, want to show face, want to help support, want people to know about them as well. So that's what
Yeah.
we consider sponsors for this level.
This is the epitome of grassroots efforts, right?
It
This
is.
definitely is.
Yeah,
It
a lot of
really,
events start this way.
yeah. it
Can you
does.
explain to me the difference between Emancipation Weekend and Juneteenth?
So Florida Emancipation Weekend is when the Emancipation Proclamation was actually passed, and they went around reading what the proclamation was, reading that the slavery was abolished and over. And Juneteenth is the time when it was actually got back to some other people, and was actually putting into effect that we are free, slavery is over. They can actually go out and sing that celebration. So those are kind of the
I think that was like the
differences.
last state.
Kind of
We,
like
we were at least a month earlier, right? Florida was at least a month earlier, and that's why we're celebrating it this weekend. So,
Okay. All right. Is there anything else that we want to say other than this is really awesome? You got to go get your tickets and come down.
Yes, I'm really excited. Friday is the only thing that you need to get a ticket for, and that'll pay for the, your food and everything like that. Well, the colors for the gala are burgundy and gold, so definitely go out and get yourself something nice. We're going to have a photographer out there taking pictures. You're going to be able to see some community members, have that conversation, just have a good time. And then Saturday and Sunday are both free events. You just come out, you'll have to pay for your food that day, but everything else is free. You get to learn a lot, you get to see a lot, you get to experience community every day of next weekend. So it's really exciting. I'm excited, and I know everybody else is too.
Brea, what's the significance of the maroon and gold? Anything or?
So if you look, Georgetown has street signs that say Georgetown, and that is burgundy.
Oh,
And then
okay.
we went with gold because we're choosing to highlight the history from the past and how it influences the present, which is the theme of the gala. So we're using that gold highlighter to highlight that history.
Very nice. Very nice. So, and Jennifer, any last words that you'd like to say?
no, Brea, I just want to sincerely thank you and the Georgetown Steering Team and encourage others out there. I think Sanford celebrates people that have a passion and a vision, and we want to grow that, especially when it celebrates our past and makes our future brighter. and of course at an event, a little partial to an event to celebrate all that. So I'm just overwhelmed with the amount of energy, effort, planning, the sponsorship. This is just when everything comes together, it makes me very happy.
And you heard it straight from our events person. And the city of Sanford has over 200 events every year, so you must be doing something right.
Yeah,
I'm glad. And it definitely was a team effort. This was my first year kind of taking the lead planning. Normally it's Miss Julia Brunson, who's been a mentor to me, but she's been focusing on her health, so I wanted to make sure she can take the time to do that. So it's my first year, so I'm praying everything goes well, but I know we've been planning everything to a T. I'm going to a meeting directly after this, so we're continuing to plan. But yeah, I'm also really excited, and I can't wait to see everybody's face and get that feedback on how we can improve for next year.
Yeah, and what a great way.
Mrs. Brunson's involved. Grace follows.
Yes, that's why I'm trying to learn from her. I'm like, mentor me.
Falls into place when she's around.
Exactly, and even passing the torch to the younger generation is so important. That's how it works, right? So,
and I can't think of better hands for it to be in.
Thank you.
All right. This is the wonderful Brea. Thank you again for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
City Hall, and Jennifer, see you round City Hall. This is Lisa
We'll see
Holder.
everyone at the Barbecue Fest this weekend, this Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
10
Shout
to
out
6.
there's a lot more going on. Go on our website and check out the calendar of events, right, Jennifer?
Yes, sanfordfl.gov/events. See our calendar, lots going on always.
Yeah, of course, Memorial Day. That's something you gotta
Heroes Avenue at 9 a.m. on Monday, May 27th, followed by the Remembrance Ceremony at 10 a.m. And
a tradition here
Corey
at the city.
Mills will be our speaker, and we're partnering with Winter Springs VFW. So.
All right. Well, thank you for that. Thank you. This is Lisa Holder, Chief Communications and Cultural Affairs Administrator for the great city of Sanford. Thank you for listening to this episode of Sanford Says. You can find this podcast wherever you subscribe to your favorite podcast and on the city website at sanfordfl.gov. Thank you. We'll see you around town. Have a great day. Bye now.